Thank you so much. I'm honored to be joining you this afternoon from across the globe in Melbourne, Australia. I'd like to firstly pay my respect to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the unceded land from which I'm joining you today. We are excited about the transformative possibility of the New Generation Equality Forums. However, I was distressed to hear that many of my fellow feminists, including persons with disabilities, trans and intersex persons, sex workers, and colleagues from across the Pacific and Asia, have been excluded from participation in this space. Accessibility is a human right, not an optional add-on, and we must do more after Paris to ensure that feminist movements are accessible to and inclusive of feminists in all their diversity. IWDA is an Australian-based organisation resourcing diverse women's rights organisation primarily in Asia and the Pacific, and contributing to global feminist movements to advance our vision of gender equality for all. IWDA's approach represents a third way between the models of women's funds and international development NGOs. We resource the work of diverse women's rights organizations, enable them to be more effective by providing support that goes beyond money, and we make our own contribution to feminist movement through advocacy, knowledge creation, and translation. I am enormously proud to lead this organization as its CEO. Within our mandate, IWDA is honored to be able to make a number of significant commitments towards the Action Coalition on Feminist Movement and Leadership today. First, IWDA commit to sustain and improve flexible funding, which includes multi-year core support for diverse women's rights organizations, primarily in Asia and the Pacific. We know that women's rights organizations need funding to be, not just to do, so that they can engage with and respond to the complexity of their environment and with agility and locally led solutions. As part of this, IWDA commits to grant a minimum of 4.5 million Australian dollars annually to diverse women's rights organisations, a total of 22.5 million over 5 years. Second, IWDA commits to build the availability of individual-level gender-sensitive data that reveals the relationship between gender and poverty through our flagship program, Equality Insight. This has been a priority since Beijing, and it remains a critical gap. We need both the politics and the process to be aligned to achieve the availability of gendered data that gives a meaningful starting point to tackle gendered poverty. Third, building on the significant momentum of growing evidence around the world for feminist foreign policies, IWDA commits to convening a coalition of diverse feminist organizations to advance an Australian feminist foreign policy. Fourth and finally, as feminists, we know that to transform the world, we must to transform ourselves. IWDA commits to take action to decolonize our approach to feminism and development. We want to become the best we can be in the world at North-South partnerships. We also commit to improve organizational enablers of diversity and inclusion at all levels of the organization, addressing racial injustice, discrimination of all forms. We endeavor to listen, to learn, and act to become an explicitly diverse, inclusive, and anti-racist feminist organization. This journey is core to our values and vision. Thank you again, and we look forward to realizing a new world where together with feminists here at the forum and around the world.